I've had people ask me like, what if someone's like releasing like an entity or something? Do you feel like that's gonna like come onto me or is it coming onto other people in the space? And I don't necessarily subscribe to that. Anything that's moving through them is moving up and out. It's being expressed. And the only way that I'm gonna take that on is if I've lost connection to myself. It's okay to let yourself feel it fully. All the way down here. Let it out fully, all the way down here. Let it out fully. You don't have to carry it anymore. Use your sound. You need to have like different practices that get you into your physical body, like really get you into your physical body, like allow you to occupy your full body, to occupy your emotions, to occupy yourself, to be anchored in yourself, and to know yourself. Do you see how quickly like it switched? And even underneath the yelling, like, could you hear it wasn't just anger, there was like almost like agony in a way, despair. And so I helped her to make sound. I got to the diaphragm rock with sound, helping her make sound, but then I was like, okay, this isn't necessarily the right thing. I moved away, gave her space. As I moved away, did you notice that it ramped up even more? I like gave her space and I was yelling with her. And she immediately went fully into it. And so like raising 10% doesn't matter at that point. Like we're yelling together. It's not like a raise 10, match, raise 10. It's like, okay, we're fully going into it. And from there, it was like I gave space. And then as soon as I saw that moment of softness come through, like I came and I held. And so that happens often. And then tears started to come out and I rolled her over. So you guys get to see kind of real time. Obviously that happened pretty quickly, but see how it shifts. I didn't even need to get into the diaphragm press necessarily. And honestly, I hardly ever use that because helping people to make sound is usually the thing that works the best anyways. Real time, it can switch like that. And so I went to her first, was helping her. She was releasing, it kind of reached a plateau. I'm like, okay, how do I reorient myself? Came off. Some more sound came out. I'm like, okay, let's make sound here. And then there was a point where it was like, it shifted and I came in with soft, nurturing, like gentle energy. But even in her first couple yells, there was more like a deep sadness, deep pain there. Can I sit with you? So I was doing a session one time, group session. Right before the session started, she came up to me in the hallway and was like, hey, I'm like starting to feel like a lot of anxiety right now. Like things are really coming up for me. Like, I don't know if I should do this right now. And I'm like, well, I kind of had to make a decision there. Like, well, you're here and this is your first session. So like you are in control the whole time. If you want to just sit and lay there, you can. If you want to slow it down, you can. And so started the session. First half, this group that I had ended up being so loud. Like they were fucking yelling. And and it's not always like that. It's not always like that. But this group was very loud. And first half, she kept her eyes open the whole time and was like looking around and with this very hyper vigilant like look on her face. And what do you think it might mean when someone has their eyes open? Don't feel safe, scared, uncomfortable. You know, I went over to her and I did a couple things with her. Like I was like, you know, it's safe to go back inwards. Like, you're safe here. It's okay to go inward. And she did not want to go in. But by the second half, she like finally started going in, and there was a point where she kept like sitting up, and I thought I was gonna have to walk her out. Like I thought she was gonna leave, because there was people like next to her like fucking yelling, and I could tell she was very uncomfortable. But she ended up sharing at the end, and it was definitely one of the most powerful shares I've ever heard. And this woman was a doctor. She was a pain specialist doctor. And she said that this was one of the most difficult experiences of my life, because I had to listen to other people in their pain, and I couldn't get around to them. I couldn't get around and numb each person, because that's what I do for a living. I'm a pain specialist doctor. Someone's in pain, I want to take them out of pain. But I had this realization that everyone's feeling this pain, and that's okay. And they're moving through it themselves. And it's a good thing to feel it and move it through. And I was just like, you never know. Like a difficult experience might be super powerful for somebody. And especially in those group sessions, like there are multiple things at play there. And you never know when something's going on that might be difficult, it actually might be the exact thing that they needed. Like, you actually have pressure on you all the time to not make noise in your house. Like, if I want to yell in my house, like, oh, are the neighbors going to hear me? Like, oh, they might call the cops on me. I don't know. You know, like there's pressure there. And so sometimes just the act of grabbing the pillow, and letting it out in the pillow can be the permission that someone needs to get into their voice. And so that's another way to do it, and especially it can muffle the sound in your house as well. How many people were ever told, like, what you say doesn't matter? Or sit down and shut up? And so your voice does matter, and you're allowed to make as much noise as you would like. And so how do we communicate that? How you doing? Thank you. Tired? It's okay.
I let it all out.
You let it all out. That was very courageous for you to come up here and do that.
Yeah. There was a point where I did want to like slam my hands, but it like got so tight with the tetany that like I just cramped up, and then I just like my voice wanted to like overpower than like beating it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I didn't even know I could scream that loud.
That was good. That was good. At first, when you said, I want to let out anger,
I told you I have anger.
I was like, well, I don't know if she's going to let it out. We'll see.
Apologies to my raspy voice because I've let out so much in the past couple days. This has been such a beautiful journey. I totally forgot about like my part in it, like internally. I did not expect myself to release so much. I was just focused on what I'm going to learn to bring to others, especially like my clients, since I'm a body worker. And I knew I had stuff trapped in, but I didn't realize like how much work deep down that I needed to release, and that I did get to release during this time so that I could be 100% when I go back and actually be a practitioner. So it was just a beautiful experience just to go really deep and inward and be vulnerable in this beautiful space with everyone. And it was just so powerful yesterday to see like all you guys like being so open and 100%. And like I've been looking for this deeper connection that I was missing. Like I love being a body worker, but I was like wanting something deeper because I know there's so much pain than just surface layer pain. It goes so deep into the heart and the soul. And so seeing that and witnessing that, it just like brought me so much tears in my eyes, because I'm like, this is such a beautiful experience that I know is going to help heal a lot of people, and like even suicidal people, you know, like especially in like the Portland community, like there's just so much that is wrapped around like drugs and just like numbing yourself, and just to know that this is going to be so powerful amongst those people is just like incredible. Like it's such an impactful of saving lives. So I'm just thankful for everybody here for being brave and opening up, and for you guys for having this space for us and creating this, because it's amazing and it's so powerful. So love all of you guys.
If you want to experience the power of somatic breathwork, we would love to see you at one of our community sessions. You can click the link below to figure out when our next session is, and we'd love to see you there.
This experience, I truly believe, could literally and will literally change the world.